Benji movie. Like, and it says Netflix original.
Where's Lassie been, by the way? Lassie was always more upbeat. Lassie solved shit. Lassie was never homeless and starving and fucking walking the streets all dirty like Benji. Lassie was a fucking powerhouse hero.
Where's
Used
Rin
to save
Tin
kids
Tin?
in wells. Yeah, well, yeah, that too. Where's Rin Tin Tin? Where are the hero dogs?
There are
Why
none.
we got this sad-ass Benji the bum walking around looking for a home every movie?
Okay, come on. Benji. Okay, come on. Benji is the Jerry Curl to Lassie and Rin Tin Tin's Andrews and Bayo. Okay. Benji is the Jerry Curl of that.
He's
whole
not
dog
as
universe.
funny as Jerry.
Well,
Jerry's
no,
more
not.
upbeat than that dog.
It's true, but if you look at it,
God
God, oh come on, Lassie, goddamn.
God damn, Lassie.
Want some beans, Lassie? Beans. Gotta get them beans, girl.
Did you hear they're not renewing Rick and Morty for season 4?
I was about to say that. I saw that today. They from what I'm hearing is that it's like Cartoon Network just hasn't greenlit a fourth.
I cannot believe they're gonna just cut off their most popular show like that.
Well, what are they gonna do? Just continue with reruns of frickin' Family Guy?
You know what? Adult Swim, ever since they got on the Seth MacFarlane, Mike Judge train, has been boring as fuck. A lot of the in-house stuff they don't do anymore. And like Rick and Morty was a shining light in that. Mike Tyson Mysteries is a nice as a good cartoon. There's a few I don't hardly any of that. I don't watch any of that live action shit. Fucking drives me nuts. I can't stand it. I didn't like Tim and Eric. I didn't like any of this.
See, the only one that I liked really with Tim and Eric was Tom Goes to the Mayor. But
yeah, that was not the Tim and Eric show. I didn't like the live act. Tom Goes to the Mayor was animated.
Yeah, I like Tom Goes to the Mayor. Now, Tim and Eric, great show.
Rats off to you.
Yeah. But, like, Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job or whatever. I liked the Steve Brule moments in that, and there was some times that were funny. But here's the thing, it's like Adult Swim will give a show, like 6 episodes, and then it's like you never hear from it again.
Or they reboot it years later, like with Venture Brothers. I love Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers was great.
I absolutely love Venture Brothers. They put on the pilot.
Come on, Monarch. Come on.
Dr. Girlfriend.
Dr. Girlfriend. Mrs. Dr. the Monarch.
They put the pilot for that on at like 1 a.m, one time, like 2 years before the series even premiered.
Yeah.
And it was the pilot episode where Dr. Venture was going to like the World Peace Conference, and he brought one of his dad's laser weapons, and it was this fucking laser gun, and he had a small city, and he turned the laser weapon on, and this is for a peace conference, he turned the laser weapon on, and it just melted this plastic city on the table, and they were like, Dr. Venture, you bring this, we're talking about peace, and you bring this weapon of destruction. And they were all pissed off at him, and he like didn't understand why, because he's not really a scientist. He's just capitalizing on his dad's shit. And then that's also the one where Brock Sampson fights an alligator in the. That's where my love affair with Brock Sampson started. They get up off the plane at the base where they're landing, and an alligator jumps out of the landing gear of the plane and attacks Brock Sampson. And you just see the look of horror on everyone's face as Brock Sampson kills this alligator with his knife. And then he's wearing like a light blue shirt and white pants, and he takes the knife and just cleans it on his pants and like puts it away, and he starts to walk into this military base, and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, you can't come in here. You have to surrender your weapon. He just looks at this guy and goes, take it from me.
Okay, let's put this... Let's put this into perspective here. This is for tonight. All right, this is tonight. This was since 8 p.m. tonight. This was Adult Swim's lineup tonight, okay? King of the Hill.
Of course.
American Dad.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Show.
Yeah.
American Dad. Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is good.
Bob's Burgers. Family Guy. Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken's pretty good. I'll give it.
Mr. Pickles.
I haven't seen it, but it looks funny, like a satanic dog. That makes me laugh just hearing the plot of it.
The Eric Andre Show.
Eric Andre is kind of funny. I give him that, but I still don't like live action in my Adult Swim cartoon shows.
Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, American Dad.
They reboot. They rerun everything at some point in the night.
Yeah,
I don't know when it starts over.
This is when it really starts again because you go. Well, here's you have all those until, and then those two Bob's Burgers at 1:30 and 2 o'clock are the same Bob's Burgers that ran at 10 and 10:30.
Yeah.
Same with Family Guy, which
They used to do weird shit too on Adult Swim, where they would run other weird shit sometimes in the second half of Adult Swim. They would run like a different weird, like a movie, or like they ran The Room one time.
Yeah, that was like an April Fool's Day thing. And the Family Guy tonight, it's actually an hour of Family Guy because it's the last part of the Star Wars.
I've seen those all so many times just from being on Adult Swim, though. It's like I don't even want to watch it anymore.
And then you have these two shows one's called Check It Out, the other one is The Heart She Holler. Now,
I don't know any of those because I haven't watched since they took off like Metalocalypse. I haven't watched it.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I'm looking at this. What happened to Metalocalypse? What happened to Squidbillies?
That's still on occasionally.
I love Squidbillies.
Early Kyler.
Hey, y'all, you mind if I date your pumpkin? I want to get fucked. The granny. Like, fuck me. Come on, Dad. Come on. Hey, Dad. Am I doing good, Dad? Is that what you like that, Dad? Shut up, boy.
It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of I don't know if it's sad or sickening or what, but I mean, when Adult Swim was first starting, and I remember when they were doing the thing where they started creeping up like on network television ratings
it was like
for late
Space
night.
Ghost Coast to Coast.
And yeah, well, they started out, and it started earlier. I thought it started with Space Ghost like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
then it went to like Sea Lab 2021, then like Aqua Teen, and then Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which I used to love.
I loved Aqua Teen. Meatwad is my man.
And they had a bunch of in-house shows that they did.
Frylock, I got this magic sweater. Grand Specials.
Like all the William Street shit just dried up, and
like all they want is Seth MacFarlane rerun shit.
Yeah, it's like and you see it on Fox. It's like on TBS. It's on like fucking 10 channels on my cable. You can't get away from Family Guy and American Dad.
It's on Hulu. They took them off. They took them off Netflix. Now I will give this credit. To me, I always thought of all his shows, of American Dad, of Family Guy, I honestly thought Cleveland Show was the best and funniest of them all.
Yeah, of the three.
Of those three, the one that did not last, I thought was the absolute funniest, and it was Cleveland Show. One, because there were some cutaway gags, but it was more. It really caught me on the first episode of Cleveland Show where he's teaching Rollo that, where he's like, you got to not get caught, and then Rollo's underneath the desk like, oops, I dropped my pencil. I wonder where my pencil has gone. It is the most elusive pencil, and he's trying to, sexist, whatever, but he's looking up the girl's skirts, But I just died laughing, and then you got Tim the bear, and he's like, he's a bear, but he lives in suburbia because he's afraid of the woods, and he smokes, but he doesn't want his wife to know he smokes. He's like, please don't tell the missus, about this. But he's also really religious. He's like, go with Christ, Jesus said, Cleveland, Jesus forgives, but I don't. So I
miss all the shows they used to do in house though.
What happened to Super Channel?
I think they bought. I think they figured it's cheaper and more cost effective or something just to buy old Seth MacFarlane shows from Fox or something, because like they just had the greatest. It used to be this really cool like underground thing and they'd even put the ratings up how many people were watching at night sometimes in the bumpers. And
I love those bumpers.
And you'd sit there and it felt like you were a part of something kind of underground and cool.
Yeah.
Because people like just kind of fringe weirdos were watching it at the time, and like I would rush home Sunday from work when I was working at the restaurant. I'd work Sundays and I'd work till like 9. And I would rush home every Sunday just to get Adult Swim on and watch it. And like all those good shows are gone now, man. You don't have any Space Ghost. Well, I guess the guy that Space Ghost voice died, didn't he? Didn't the guy that
he
used
passed away. Yeah.
So you don't have him anymore. But I mean, they had the
The
what's
Brack
his
Show.
name? The Brack Show. But the other guy that did the other guy voice died too. Yeah, Zorak died too.
Yeah, Zorak.
But like you had the Brack Show, you had Space Ghost, you had C-Lab, you had
Squidbillies,
you had
Metalocalypse,
Metalocalypse, Venture Brothers,
Super Jail.
Aqua Teen.
You remember Super Jail?
I've never, that's one where I haven't seen. I stopped watching at a certain point. Like pretty much after Metalocalypse was done, I was done.
So the best way I can describe Super Jail is you take the Mad Hatter and let him create a super maximum prison, and that's Super Jail. It is literally the weirdest. It's literally Alice in Wonderland if they had a supermax prison. It is a weird fucking mind fuck inside this gigantic
I got out of it because of that. But I think that's the reason I didn't like it anymore. Because it seemed like they were just getting weird for weirdness' sake, and it wasn't like funny anymore. Like the Tim and Eric stuff is just weird shit that's not. It's almost like you sit there just confused watching the show. What the fuck am I watching?
Like I said, Tom Goes to the Mayor I thought was funny and ingenious.
Well, it had a plot though. I mean, it was a guy that was trying to pitch stuff to the mayor to help the town out, and it was like my favorite one is Rats Off to You, when he came up with the Rats Off to You thing and the guy stole it from him.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite ones. But like after that, when they started doing the live action show, I didn't like it. I was like, what is this crap?
And where's Mike Tyson's Mysteries?
Oh, it's on the new seasons. I got the first 3 of them on my DVR right now.
Good. That one, that's like the Sleeping Beast. Right?
That's one of the only ones left. One of the only in-house Adult Swim things they do anymore. I don't know. Oh, they do all those weird little 15-minute ones and stuff, and like Robot Chicken, I guess, is kind of in-house, but that's really Seth Green. But I mean, like there's a couple things. They still show Squidbillies once in a while. There's a couple of the in-house things, but it is mostly just Fox shit, like Fox acting Adult Swim, and it's not the cool kind of. It's gone mainstream, and it's not the cool weird underground little club at night that you get together and watch with your friends and stuff.
Well, the other thing I liked is that Adult Swim, they would take shows that were adult shows that were on other channels, but they would bring them like to Adult Swim. Like I loved Home Movies. That was one of my favorites. Yeah,
that was another Brendan Small cartoon, the Metalocalypse. He did that one, and man, Brendan Small's an excellent guitar player. As a side note, I don't know if you've ever seen him play, but he is fucking good.
I own Death Clock's albums. Okay, I own the album.
I've got the first one burned somewhere, but I don't have the other one.
I've got them. But I loved Home Movies. Like my favorite episode is one where all he wants is a fisheye lens. That's like all he wants. And it had H. John Benjamin as Coach McGurk.
McGurk was the best. I actually started watching Bob's Burgers because he's on it, and just because of that voice, because he's got one of the. It's so just like he's just throwing it out there, like he didn't even read the script. And I heard that he doesn't even read the script for Bob's Burgers. I think he's even said that. He just kind of glosses over it and just kind of does what he wants in the recording booth, and that's how it turns out. That like kind of sounds improvised. That's why you hear him laugh sometimes in the when he's doing Bob, when Linda was talking about she wanted to be cremated and thrown in Tom Selleck's face when she died, and then Bob, you hear H. John Benjamin start to say his line, and he kind of chuckles and goes, "Well, that's just crazy." like he just ad-libbed that line, and it was fucking great.
Hey, Brendan, life's like soccer. You suck at it. Things like that. The Oblongs, I remember watching that. That's the one where
the Will Ferrell cartoon.
Yeah, that was funny. Like the one kid I guess it's because I think E.G. Daily did the voice for him. Who voiced no, maybe it wasn't her.
Wasn't the wife was like Jean Smart from Designing Women, I think.
Oh no, Pamela. Yeah, Jean Smart was the wife. The child was Pamela Adlon, who does Bobby Hill. But the son always kind of reminded me of This Is What Happened to Tommy Pickles' family when he grew up.
They all became mutants.
They all became mutants. But that show was so good. You know,
That was good. Yeah, I watched all of that. It didn't last. It only lasted the season, I think.
yeah, it didn't last. God, the Devil, and Bob. You remember God, the Devil, and Bob?
No, I remember Lucy, Daughter of the Devil.
That was a good one. I liked that one.
One or two of those.
But they had all these great shows. Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Yeah,